Yeah, it's good morning for us anyway. It's like 11 something. Well, or is it 12? Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you're an Inner Circle member, go ahead and help me out and let everybody else know we live today. Unfortunately, I forgot, and I was trying to get something. I wanted to do something and just show up for you all because I've been super busy lately. I did the opposite of what I had planned on doing for the summer. The summer I had planned on putting out more content and showing up for my community and doing a lot of videos. But then I had this download of creating the soul care journal. And that soul care journal, creating it from my own embodiment to birthing it into this reality, it took a lot out of me. So it took me to a place of I was tired, exhausted mentally, physically, and energetically. So I haven't felt like, well, I would have this, you know how I operate from the perspective of when something resonates, I come. When something, I don't just show up to show up. I'm not a typical content creator. I don't just show up to get views, to get likes, to get comments, or to be seen. I show up when I have something to say that's going to resonate, or have something that I need to say that's going to help my community. That is how I operate. I'm not a typical content creator. I'm illogical in the way that I create content. So I have been focused on creating my soul care journal, which is going to be dropping at the end of the month. And creating that took everything out of me to the point even I still feel exhausted to the point where I don't even know if I want to come today. But I have to say something about this. If this is the first time you've been on one of my live streams, my name is Brielle. I talk about feminine energy healing. I talk about relationships. I talk about spirituality. I talk about a variety of topics on this page. So sometimes it's hard for people to figure out what she's going to come and go live about. But one of the things that's being on me a lot is to talk about relationship, is to get back into some relationship content and talk about it from a spiritual perspective and talk about what I see that's happening. So today you're going to get a combination of Brielle and Bree. So some of you love my cousin Savage, Bree, and some of you love Brielle. Today you're going to get that combination because I think we absolutely need it. Yesterday, I did not post anything. All right. I took a break. Like I said, I am energetically, spiritually tired from creating Soul Care Journal. Now, what is a Soul Care Journal? Soul Care Journal will drop at the end of the month. It is basically therapy in a book. And since it's therapy in a book, and I'm not saying I'm a therapist, I'm not saying you should dump your therapist. I am saying you can utilize this in conjunction with therapy. And there is so much in it. It is integrating personal shadows, inner child work, somatic exercises. You're going to be able to take a QR code and be able to link to videos that I've created to go along with the journal. That is how deep it is. It took so much out of me to create it. It is 200 pages. So it is not the typical journal. It's not the typical journal where you're going to have a prompt and you're going to write in, for that prompt. It is so many different exercises, inner childhood exercises, integrating personal shadows. It's so much information in that's going to be in that it is wild. Okay, I don't really like my public Facebook. If you want to DM me that, but I don't like my public Facebook. That's the one that's for my family. That's not my business one. So if you want to, is there a question for that? Like, why are you asking that, Nephew Susie? Because I really don't even advertise that. And there's a reason for that. Because it's for family only. Yeah, because I don't use that Facebook. That's like there's a separation between business and family for me. So if there's a real question, is there a reason why you want to know if that's my Facebook page or not? Because I don't even utilize it, for one. But when I do, it's just family up there. And it's private. But let's get back to topic. A man is either helping you or holding you back. The reason why I felt propelled to talk about this, because I am starting to see a rise in content creators who say one thing and do another. And to me, that's very aggravating. I don't like the fact that there are content creators that have this message of, hey, I don't date broke men, but then they be giving broke men a chance. And you are free to do whatever you want. Like, you have free will. You can choose to do whatever you want. That is not my problem. The issue is if you come on social media and you're encouraging women not to date broke men, but in your personal life you are dating broke men, you're not setting the example that is desired, especially when we have so many young women who are just learning about this information, and then they come in and they see that you have one thing going on and another thing going on at the same time. And I have a lot of videos that I'm going to be posting that's going to show that content creators they have this message, but then they're talking about how they deal with broke men in real life. And I'm going to tell you, that's not my message. I truly do believe if a man is not helping you, he's holding you, he's holding you back. If he is not helping you, men are meant to help you. Men are meant to make and improve your situation. They are meant to come in your life and make it better. They are meant to be a compliment. They're not meant to come in your life to hold you back or to stop you from proceeding and progressing in life. So when I see the two-facedness, and that's the only word I can come up with, and I'm not even trying to be triggering, or I'm not even trying to be, I was going to say anti-girl, because that's not even me, y'all. Y'all already know when it comes down to, like I said, you're going to get a combination of Brill and your savage cousin Brie. I am not the girl's girl. I never have been and never will be, just because of this mentality right here. Because if you're going to tell me that you don't date broke men, I expect you to absolutely walk that walk. I expect you not to just be talking. I expect you to walk it. And that's what I expect. But then I get disappointed. This is the reason why I keep telling y'all, humans are humans, and they're going to keep humaning every single day. This is the reason why you should never put any content creator on any type of pedestal, or you should not look up to them, because they are still human. They're still going to make mistakes, and they're still going to do things that you don't think is right. So you should always take what they're saying with a grain of salt. Even when I am saying, when I'm teaching and I'm talking, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Don't do anything that doesn't resonate with you, or it doesn't really align with where you're trying to go in life. I'm not trying to create sheep. I'm trying to create equals. And when you're trying to create equals, you don't want more followers. You want people who are going to stand up, who's going to speak up for themselves, people who are going to actually look up or look into what you're talking about to see if it's correct. You're not just going to get in line. You're not just going to follow. That's not what I'm trying to create over here. And that's not, I'm not even trying to create that in my own daughters. I create thinkers. I didn't know it was your private account. Yes. Don't mind a broke man that is generous, but a man who is mean and controlling, no miss. I don't deal with a broke man, period. And the reason for that is when you deal with a broke man, there also comes with brokenness. Because it's more, when you are broke, that is not just being broke physically. There's usually a spiritual disconnect for being broke. And this is also across the board. Like, by the way, it's also across the board. Usually when a person is broke, there's something broken spiritually. There's some behaviors that are displaying, showing that there's a reason for the broke. So that is the reason why I don't deal with a broke man, regardless if he is. How can he be generous when he can't even be generous to himself? Like, you have to realize, when you love yourself, you're going to put yourself in position. You're going to do things to make sure that you can live a good life. So how can he be generous to you, but not generous to himself? There's something broken there. And this is across the board. This is not, honestly, y'all know I don't speak from a perspective of men are this way, women are that way. I speak from human nature, because that is what biologists, psychologists, usually they talk about the differences that we do have, but they also talk about the nature, human nature. Human nature is going to be the final determination of who that person truly is. And they don't talk about, hey, men are bad, women are bad type of thing. I don't do that. That's not my platform. I talk about human nature. I talk about biology. I talk about psychology. I talk about science. And I talk about personal experience. That is where I come from when I'm talking about these things. But I stay away from a broke man, because usually it indicates there's something else broken. And there's something else that's not going right. There's something else that's not making a connection. And how can a broke man be generous? He needs to be generous to himself first before he can be generous to me. And y'all don't understand, a man who's only willing to be generous because he sees is not the type of man that I want entertaining. I want the man that's going to love himself so much, and he's going to put himself in position that he's going to have resources, that he's going to build a life for himself. I shouldn't have to come in his life for him to actually start building a life. He should have that life built. And see, the mentality that a lot of women have, and I think is also being promoted in social media. That's the reason why I had to take a break from the social media world. Because the social media world, they have this and that always going. There's always something going on social media. Like, even, there's never a day of rest of something going on social media, for real. There's always something going on. There's always different opinions. There's always going back and forth. There's always tit for tat. And all of that going on, I have to take a break from it. I have to energetically replenish my stores. I have to spiritually connect with the divine in order to get guidance. So I have to take those breaks so I can get that guidance. But one of the things I cannot, and I will not approve of women dating broke men. Either he is helping you or he's holding you back. And it doesn't matter if he's generous towards you. It doesn't matter if he's willing to get off his rump and go out here and work a 9 to 5 and get you that house and do all these things. Because let me tell you, that temporary situation when he's experienced, where he is hormonally attracted to you and he's willing to do the most for you, that is a temporary situation that will not last. It's almost like you are the inspiration for him getting off the couch, when he should have been the inspiration for him getting off the couch. He should have had, thank you, hustle. He should have had the hustle and the grind for himself. And I think that's another reason why some women get caught up in relationship, because they truly do believe that they have this ability to inspire a man to do something for himself that he hasn't done ever. And I'm going to tell you, that's temporary. There's plenty of women who are stuck in a situation where they thought this man is going somewhere because he temporarily got off the couch. He temporarily went to work. He temporarily hustled. He temporarily got resources, and now they're stuck. Because they don't understand, when you truly in love with yourself, you're going to do those things for yourself first. You're going to hustle for yourself first. You're going to build for yourself first. You're going to look after for yourself first. You're going to take care of yourself first. And if a person is not doing that for themselves first, there's something broken. That's the reason why I'm always going to stand 10 toes down and tell you that a broke man is not just broken with resources. He's also broken somewhere spiritually. Somewhere something is not connecting. Somewhere there is a disconnect. Because you're going to do these things for yourself first. You don't need inspiration to get up and make sure you're going to eat. You don't need inspiration to make sure you're going to have a roof over your head. You don't need inspiration to make sure you have resources and money in the bank. You need you. You need to care about you first. And that's across the board. So no, I don't care if he is generous. I don't care if he's going to get me his last $5. I don't care if he is willing to give me the shirt off his back. Why isn't he willing to do that for himself? Why isn't he willing to put himself first? Like, I don't know about y'all, but I want a whole man, not a half of one. And that's the reason why I say a man is either helping you up, making your life better, putting you in position, bringing in social currency so that you can thrive, bringing in friends, family, so that you can have a better life in, or he is holding you back. See, the thing is with me, and this may be why some people be like, you harsh, you too direct, and y'all don't F with me like that. I'm starting to realize that. And I'm actually okay with that. I'm okay with that. I used to be like, why women don't F with me? Because, you know why? Because I can be Savage Cousin Brie. Well, I can be very direct. And I don't see the in-between. I don't see the confusion that you see. I'm not confused. I don't sit here and think about, well, he's having a hard time. He came from a hard life. Why isn't he doing anything he needs to do? I look at it, what is he doing? He's over 30 years old. Like, why is he sitting at his mama's house still? Why doesn't he have a car? Why he doesn't have resources? Why he doesn't even have kids? So why he isn't making himself the best of men? So that is what I look at. And I'm going to tell you what a smart man told me this years ago. If he over 35 and he ain't getting it, sis, he ain't never going to get it. And you can't inspire him to do so. That's what a smart man told me. That is not popular. That's the reason why y'all don't F with me, because y'all want to sit here and take these 33-year-old toddlers and you want to make him a king that he is not. Y'all have to realize a king takes care of the community. A king shows up for his queen. A king creates and builds and has resources so that he can have a legacy. I'm not going to sit here and try to king a toddler. Y'all be over here trying to justify why this 33-year-old man hasn't got his life together. Why this 33-year-old man isn't going after resources. Why this 33-year-old man doesn't have good communication skills. And we're not helping either. Like, this is another reason why y'all don't F with me. Because I'm going to tell you how it is. Women aren't helping in this dynamic. As long as you decide to try to justify a king toddler or why he hasn't had the things that he needs to have in life, and you continue to date him because you think he's generous, because he told you were pretty, or because he gave you the shirt off his back, or because he gave you $5 at one time, y'all be thinking he's nice, he's sweet, and then you date him and you give him the time of day, you're not going to help him evolve and elevate. You're not helping the situation. When you continue to talk about not dating broke men or being with broke men, but you still giving them chances because he's nice. I could be nice too. I could be kind too. But that does still not negate the fact that I have not done anything with my time. That I haven't done anything with my resources. I don't have a social currency. I don't have a community. If I haven't had all of these things, or I haven't done the things that need to be done, there shouldn't be a justification for this man and debating when you should date him because you think he's nice. And that's why you don't F with me like that. Now I get it. Now I get it. And I'm okay with that. Queen with Jules, hello, and Grand Rising, hello, hello. Milana Trumps, those broke generous men are just paying to get booty. It won't last. They are acting. That's the reason why I don't understand. If he's broke and he's generous, you should still look at it as though there's a disconnect somewhere. Because it's not normal to be broke. Not when we live in a society where there is wealth and abundance available. So it's not normal to be broke. People don't realize there's usually some type of something going on the other side. Some type of behavior, some type of thinking, some type of process that's getting in the way of us becoming abundant and having wealth. And what we need to be doing, instead of focusing in on that man that you consider to be broke and generous, we need to be looking at ourselves and ask ourselves, why do we feel that that is the best man that we can attract? We can do better. And it is just an act. So a man is either helping you, making your life better, or he's holding you back or holding you down. Y'all have to, sometimes some of y'all need to go ahead and lose about 225 pounds. Go ahead and lose that 225 pound man that you have that is holding you back or holding you down. And get out here and look at the reasons why you would even waste your time with this type of man. And realize that something else is better for you. Like, I'm never going to tell you all, because he's nice, give him a chance. That's not my stilo. I'm never going to tell you all, just because he is generous, give him a chance. I'm going to tell you to vet. Y'all know I'm the queen of vetting. I'm going to tell you to vet him thoroughly, especially if you see him being around for a long time, not a short time. Vet him thoroughly, because men are supposed to help you. And really, you don't even have to, remember vetting, majority of vetting is observation. 90% of vetting is observation. Like the 10% is the questions. So the 90% of the time that you're vetting him, you're observing him. Observing him in his natural habitat. Observe how he deals with people. Observe how he reacted or acted in previous relationships. Observe how he speaks to you. Observe how he's around you. Observe how he communicates. Observation is the name of the game when it comes to vetting a man. And that it will tell you everything you need to know. All you got to do is have no expectations of him. And what I mean by that, don't go in here thinking, oh, he's my husband. Oh, he's it. This is my one and only. Stop thinking like that. Let people show you who they are so you can respond and react. And let people go when you need to let them go. Because he's either helping you or he's holding you back. He's helping you to improve your life. He's bringing people in where you can, like I said, social currency. No one, a lot of people don't talk about social currency. Social currency is where he has a network of people that he can call on. And these network of people, they can be helpful to you, because just having a network of people that you can pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm looking for this, this, and that. And they're like, hey, I know somebody who can help you with that. Or even when it comes to your career, he should have a network of people that he's already established, that he can bring into your world, and it can improve your world. He should be also helping you to the extent of when you're with him, everything is improving for you. Your finances is getting better. Your career or whatever, your education, whatever you're currently working on, everything is improving. Everything is getting better. Your life is getting better. He's helping you. And I think we need to get rid of all of the confusion that's there, because I think there's a lot of confusion, especially with social media, where everybody telling you all the different processes and how they vet people and how they figure out which guy is going to be it for them. Look at it like, is he helping me or he holding me back? If he's holding you back, let him go. Stop getting confused about his age, his job, where he is in life, who mistreated him. We're not concerned about that. Eliminate the confusion and you'll have it easier when it comes to dating. Look at him. Is he helping you? Is him being in my life making my life easier? Is him being around me helping me progress? Is him being around me making me or improving me so I can elevate as a woman? Is him being around me making sure that I can go and reach new levels? He should be helping you. And if you don't see that happening, it's really easy to let that man go. Stop going to the buts, the if, the maybe. We don't care about that. We're going to eliminate the confusion. We're going to eliminate the gray area for this. For when it comes with dealing with a man, especially in the very beginning, we need to be very black and white. And the reason for that, so that we can make decisions very quickly. And then we don't have to get caught up in the if or the buts or the maybes. We don't have to get caught up into, oh, his childhood. He had a bad childhood. I have seen so many different things sitting back in the cut and just watching on social media and seeing so many content creators talk about this very subject. I've watched content creators who talk about they don't date broke men, but they give broke men in real life a chance. I watch content creators give you complicated ways in order to vet or to figure out if the man is going to be a good option for you to move forward with. And it's all very complicated. I want it very simple. Like, I don't believe in trying to complicate something. I want stuff very simple. I want to get to the answer very quickly. I don't like to waste my time. I want to do a successful read, which means to analyze that person and their intentions. I want to make sure that they are coming correct and I'm giving this person access to me and that they are going to be on the up and up, versus me finding out 6-7 months down the line that this person means me no good. And now the best way we can do is simplify is to look at, is he helping me? Is he helping me move forward? Is he making me feel good about myself? Is he increasing my finances? Is my finances improving being around him? Does he have a social currency? Does he have a network that I can pull from? Is he being in my life going to improve it? And then you can look at, is he holding me back? Being with him, does he make me feel bad every time I'm with him? Do I doubt myself? Do I lack confidence because I'm with this man? Is he holding me back because he is confused about his own world and he projects it, and he's making me confused about the world and how I'm going and what I'm supposed to be doing in the world and how I'm supposed to show up in the world? Is he holding me back by not encouraging me or being there for me so that I can move forward and elevate my own womanhood and my own lifestyle? You need to be looking, is he helping me or is he holding me back? Like, you need to evaluate that, and you need to evaluate it very quickly. Don't get caught up in the if, the what, the buts, and all the extra in between. Don't get caught up in the confusion, because that's what it is. It's confusion. Too many women are caught up in the confusion of it all, and they're not simplifying it, and they're not realizing, look, step back from how you feel about him or what you want from him or the expectation that you have of him, and start looking at it. Is he helping me? Is he improving my world? Or is he holding me back? I'm not moving forward. Because being with a man that is helping you, you will elevate as a woman. You will elevate in lifestyle. You will improve in communication. You will improve in finances. things should be going up for you. It should be going up for you. The thing is, when you look at your entire life or the current mode that y'all are in together, and you can look at it, you see y'all are going down and everything's getting worse and worse. You can't afford the place you live in. You can't afford groceries. You can't afford to live. You always budgeting. You're always on your last dollar. Y'all, that is an indicator that he is holding you back. Like that you should, that's the reason why they look at the woman. When you see couples out here, most times we're not looking at the man. Because men are not going to step, baby. They're not going to step. They're not going to show that wealth in that way. You're going to look at the woman. You're going to see if the wealth is on her. Usually the wealth is on the woman. So you're going to look at the woman and look at the care of the woman to see if she's being treated well. And she represents that every time she steps outside that house. That's why when I go out, I can always tell what wives are very taken care of and what wives are not. And then you can also tell the wives that are taking care of themselves and paying for themselves versus the wives who are not paying. It's all in the way that they operate and the way that they stand near the guy and the way that they present themselves. You can see it all. How long should it take for a man to start improving your life? A man should be an improvement from the very first date. He should be improving your life. Even if it starts to you taking you to a restaurant that you've never been to, or introducing you to a cuisine that you've never tried, or going to something new in the city that you've never been. You've been going over here to 3-star restaurants, baby. He's taking you to 5 stars. You've been shopping in Dillard's and now you're shopping in Saks. It should be an improvement right away. And not only on that level, it should be an improvement just being around him. You feel good about yourself. Being with him is a confidence booster. You're not losing with him. You feel good with him. And so you're going to pay attention to how you feel also with him. That's also a good indicator that he is helping you. If you're not with a man that makes you feel good just being with him, it makes you feel valuable. It makes you feel like you're a luxury. That's how men are supposed to make you feel when they're helping you. But when they're harming you or they're holding you back, they make you feel worse than dirt. They make you feel worse than garbage. They make you feel like dirt. And as a wife, I've seen it all. I've seen it all because we tend to hang around married people. And I've been introduced to married people where I can see that the husband, he doesn't see value in the wife. And so you can see that she's not shining as bright. You can see she looks a little down. She looks a little depressed. She looks a little sad. And usually I don't make friends with those couples because I don't want that in my life. I don't want that in my life. I would rather be around the couples where the woman is being treated well. Which of your workshops do you recommend so I learn how to bring value to his life as well? You bring value to a man's life when you start learning to bring value to yourself. Every workshop that I do, I'm always trying to make sure that women learn to bring value to themselves. And so I have tons of workshops that are available. I'm trying to think of if someone's taking one of my workshops and you want to recommend one to her, please go ahead and do so, one of my inner circle members. That will help bring value, because my mentality here is that if a woman learns to bring value to herself, then she has no choice but to bring value to the man that she's with. A lot of times a woman would choose a man based off the lack of value that she sees in herself. And that man is a reflection of the value that you see in yourself. So when you start to absolutely do the inner work, you will bring value to yourself, and you have no choice but to choose a man of value. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. So that's what my perspective is. I don't have, if you're looking for like a course where I just talk about how do you treat a man well, I don't necessarily focus in on treating him well or teaching you how to treat him well, because you have to learn how to treat yourself well. See, remember, you are the love. And once you realize that you are the love, you can give that and you'll be able to bring value to a man. But a lot of times women get with a man because they don't love themselves, and that man's a reflection of the value that she doesn't see in herself. So when a woman doesn't value herself, she tends to go get a man who will tell her, or to make sure that she knows that she doesn't value herself. So I focus on